Hello. We're talking about welcoming refugees. And one basic thing we need to remember is that the more we understand them, the more we'll be able to help them. In the previous video, we had 3 shapes, and these shapes represented a sort of stereotype view of people from 3 different countries. And we opened them up and had a look inside. And inside we found all sorts of layers of culture, until at last we came down to 3 little boxes. The boxes being of a similar shape, similar type, but different colours, different sizes. These boxes represent the nuclear family, that is, a couple and their children. So each one of these represents a family. What is inside? What do we discover when we dig inside the nuclear family? Shall we have a look? So this represents the nuclear family of someone in Azerbaijan. If we look inside and we see the person inside his family, this is what we find. If we go to the Senegalese nuclear family and we open the box inside, this is what we find. If we take the Great Britain family and open the box inside, this is what we find. As individuals, we're all just the same. Our hearts are just the same. You know, everywhere in the world, every person in the world is just the same, in that every one of us longs to be loved and to have relationships, loving relationships with other people. This is what we crave. Now, when a refugee was back home, he may have had hundreds of relationships, some of them very, very meaningful relationships. And what has he lost? All of them. Every last one. He's also lost the culture he grew up in, the way of thinking. This causes a grief in his heart that we cannot really imagine. Many of these people have lost their closest relationships. They've lost husband, wife, children, sister, brother, mother, father. And they are just by themselves. All of these other relationships gone. What grief! What grief they must bear. You know, you may provide the refugee with clothing, food, shelter, everything he needs to keep himself alive. But the loss of those relationships is so great. So great that we can't really imagine it. In that lonely heart is grief, more than that heart can bear. And that heart could well be broken. So what's the best thing that you can do for a refugee who's carrying so much grief? The best thing you can do is to open up your heart to him or to her, and somehow show them that you care. You care about his grief. You care about his losses. You care about him. Yes, he may well have bonded to other refugees, but that doesn't help him to integrate into our society here. To help him to integrate, he needs to know that somebody here cares about him. Would you like to help to heal that broken heart? Would you like to help that person to integrate into society here? Really? It will cost you a great deal of time and effort. But the rewards will be huge. The joy that you will get are far greater than anything that you will pay.